Hey guys, I'm Rick, and that is One Big Pile of Bricks with our amazing guest, Season 3 winner, David.
Hello guys, hello everyone. Caroline, Rick, how's it going?
Half of the winning team. Of course, Gus couldn't be with us today. But
Gus works for the Brickman now, so he's like too busy.
Very important.
He's an important person over at the Brickman.
He is.
And how have you been, David?
Yeah, good. Working a lot. I moved on from the job that I had before, and I'm working for a software development company now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, working as a business analyst, a senior business analyst, and basically we're working with a lot of very good clients. I'm not gonna go into details. You don't want to know
obviously,
a lot about software development.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
Yeah, I do, because most of the responsibility that I have is being able to take the customer's needs and necessities that the client needs and translate it into systems.
Yeah, okay.
So that has a component of problem solving that I really enjoy, that I apply to Lego and that apply to everything that I do.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Lego, how has the whirlwind of winning Season 3 been for you?
It's weird. Keep in mind that I came to Australia. I moved to Australia in 2015.
Yep.
And in a matter of 5 years, I was already on national TV.
So explain to everyone listening and watching at home, where are you from?
I'm originally from Colombia, as you can hear from the accent.
I knew it because when we watched the Lego Masters, when you introduced yourself, you said, "Hi, I'm David from Melbourne." I said, "Come on now, Rick, where's he from?"
Oh, you have no idea how much my family back home have given me a hard time because of that. Because I said, I'm David from Melbourne. No, you're not from Melbourne. You're from Colombia. Yeah, but I live in Melbourne.
We just couldn't work out where you were from. We were just trying to pick the accent. We were like, is he Danish? Is he some sort of like...
There was actually a channel on Reddit, a sub-channel on Reddit.
Wow.
Just dedicated to talk about where
That's
is David's accent from.
Yeah, because they didn't really touch on it. They don't really do it.
Yeah, they didn't. But why is your accent such a hybrid accent?
That's a very good question, because I lived in the U.S. for a while, so I have a bit of an American accent, and as well, because of the company, I used to work for a multinational company, so I used to speak English all the time, but I used to talk to people from everywhere in the world. And now that I've been here for a little bit over 5 years, I'm picking up some Aussie slang as well.
Yeah, but also too, like, tell everyone at home how you were a heartthrob in Colombia.
Tell us that.
Well, come on, David.
What's
Spill
the
the beans.
backstory?
Let's go. Let's get on into it.
I'm 43 years old. When I was 20, I used to be on a TV series back in Colombia. That it was a mixture of The Fifth Element and Highlander.
So tell us the name so everyone can Google it at home so we can find the episodes.
Good luck. If you can find it, please let me know, because there's nothing online. It was called Montreux, but it was on a local TV channel.
He'll find it.
Dude, if you find it, let me know. I've tried. And so it was. Remember, 20 years ago there was no CGI, so all effects were like really crude. All special effects were really crude.
But let's be honest, you looked amazing back then, right?
Yeah. Well,
She's trying to say no. There's
20 years ago, I used to play rugby back then. That's how I injured my knee. So I used to be a little bit more.
And like, how long was your run on TV over there?
Nah, it was because it wasn't like seasons for TV series. We did like a few episodes, and we did a short video.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then I had to make a choice between continuing on TV and continuing the world of TV, or finish uni.
No, that's fair. It's always a hard choice, right?
But it was easy because it was a little bit like Doctor Who. So the hero
spaceship.
Of the series, the hero of the series changed bodies.
Ah, okay, cool.
So they just.
So was it like a Columbian rip-off of like Doctor Who? Is that how they did it?
No.
Or was it like something out of this world?
To do, yeah. It was,
oh wow, cool.
Yeah, it was. It had demons and angels and.
Ooh, we gotta see if we can.
We gotta try and track this down now, right, Dan? Challenge accepted.
Good luck.
It's one of those things. So like with obviously 20 years to now is completely different. What was your experience like on Lego Masters?
It was amazing. I mean, besides the fact that we won, so that was a pretty good
Yeah.
That
outcome.
makes it even more special,
Yeah.
right?
It does.
But I knew how TV worked in terms of the hours, the time management during the TV show. So I wasn't really surprised about what we had to do. It was physically it's very demanding because you demand a lot from yourself as well. Like I lost like 8 kilos.
It's all that running.
Yeah. I mean, and every time it was funny because every time they stopped shooting, they would bring me a stool to sit down
Yeah.
because of my knee.
Oh yeah.
So they knew I was the old guy who had to sit down and wait between shots.
Well, Brickman's probably got a stool that he sits down on that no one knows about. Like, so
In the green room.
in the great in his little setup, he's probably got like the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones made out of Lego that he sits in between takes.
No, but my experience and the fact as well that I was paired up with Goss, we complemented each other really, really well in the
That's
show.
what we commented on when we were watching it. We thought the same thing. There was a time when you were getting stressed out, or he would get stressed out, and the other one was just like, no, this is how we're going to approach it. It will be okay.
So did you guys know each other?
No. And that is the best
Wow.
compliment that we can get. Every time we run into someone and they say, I thought you were friends before the show, that means that what we showed on the screen was actually how we were interacting with each other.
Wow.
We got really
So
comfortable.
all 3 seasons of that one Lego Masters didn't know each other.
Oh, yeah.
The winners.
The winners, yeah. So like
Jackson and Alex.
Jackson and
didn't
Alex,
know?
I don't think they knew
there
each
you
other,
go.
right? I know Henry and Kay definitely didn't, and obviously you and Gus. Maybe that's the secret sauce, like not knowing each other.
We
Yeah.
shall see what happens in the next
Season
season.
4.
Yeah, season
Well, obviously
4.
when this airs, season 4 would be out, and then we
No,
can, you know,
yes. We'll
Yeah.
test
say
that
like
theory.
those builds could be better. No, I'm joking.
And I'm sure they will be because
Well, they have to,
the
right?
level every season gets better and better and better, and watching what some of the teams in our season were building as well. Everyone was very talented, and it was amazing to be in that environment where you could see people coming up with stuff like what Owen and Scotty did with the arcade. That was just, I still don't know how Owen did that. The mechanism for the lights and the guitar, it was impressive.
Do you, looking back on Lego Masters, what point did you know in the series that you were like, I think we can win this?
I think it was, okay, so we never really thought that we have, okay, let me rephrase this. Every time we had a build, we have to go through this. We have to build it. We have to do the best thing that we can do. We never said, "Oh, we got this, man. We're gonna win Lego Masters." No, we always thought that we had to do the best we could. For me, the best moment, or the first great moment of Lego Masters was when we did the Fox.
Yeah, the Fox was
Loved
amazing.
The Fox,
Okay.
it was so
Now,
expressive.
Gus is amazing, unbelievable, building creatures and the expression of the heads, and it was the first time that something like that was done in
Yeah.
Lego Masters, because usually it's these big scenarios, or you had characters as well, but never creatures, never animals.
Yeah.
If you watch episode 1 and 2, we were trying to build minifig scale, and we had the crocodile in episode 1, but it was part of the minifig world. But that was the first time that we only had a single creature, nothing else, because there was nothing else. We had a couple of flowers and the mushrooms, and that was it. And then we said, okay, you can go with a simple idea, well executed. So our second favorite moment was when we did the boombox, because we applied everything that we've been practicing about composition. I remember we were talking about where to position the guitars and what
Yeah.
angle, and I think we had a discussion about half an hour on the angle of one of the guitars, because one way was good for the composition, but with the other way you couldn't see
Yeah.
it. So.
Yes, and it's all about what the camera is going to capture.
Yeah.
Like with going back to the
Yeah.
Fox, yeah, okay, simple idea, really well executed, and it's going to look amazing on camera as that one object rather than having multiple small things with such great detail you can't even pick it up on the camera.
Yeah. There's something that you learn pretty quickly in Lego Masters, that the way you build at home is not the same way you build in the show.
Yeah.
Because you have the angle of the camera. You spend, when you're building a mock that you're going to take to an exhibition, you spend a lot of time making sure that it looks good 360.
That's exactly right. And you have you know, you've got the 6 month lead up or whatever. If you're organized enough, you'd have 6 months.
You can get all
be
the
ready,
elements that you need. You can research it. You can look at other people's builds. You work out through trial and error what works and what doesn't work. You don't have that opportunity here, do you?
No, not at all. You have to, and the thing is, you have 18 hours to build something, right? And sometimes you get to a point where it's easier to try to commit to what you're building rather than trying to change it because you're not going to have enough time.
Yeah.
Right? Like when we were building the tree house, the dream home, right? That was a little bit challenging because we already had the mountain and we had the house and okay, we have to change it. But that was a tough one, right?
And that showed through on camera. Yeah, we could see that.
And like
we were feeling
Brickman
for you
says,
guys.
it's all about the story.
Yeah.
Got to make sure you get the story right. Got to make sure Brickman's happy. If Brickman's not happy, you get eliminated. And you know, obviously you won, so obviously you managed to keep him happy for the whole series, right?
There's
we were
some
happy.
secret
We were
sauce there.
we were having fun every time. We were enjoying, right? And really respecting each other's opinions. And one of the things that we used to say was, what do? We test. Something that they didn't show, for example, when we were shooting is, before almost every build, we used to build, what we do is we build a mini model of the build.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. That's smart.
yeah, and that way we can know where all the elements are going to go. That would take us 10 minutes. And then the other one would know, okay, this is where we're going.
Right, so if you're going to apply for season 5, take note.
Well, the rumours swirling around season 5 is it's an all-star season, so you might get a phone call.
Oh, that would be, I mean, I'll do
Just
it.
a rumour. We don't know.
That's a rumour. Not saying it's like
confirmed.
accurate, but that's a rumour I've been hearing through.
Who are you talking to? Because I want to talk to that.
Well, it's one of those things because you always, like, I've heard multiple rumours throughout the years. Obviously, pre-COVID, they were talking about doing a worldwide Lego Masters and flying everybody in, right? They were going to bring, like, every winner of every season into a point, which was going to be Lego House in Billund, and they were going to film, like, a worldwide one there. But obviously, COVID changed a lot of things, and, you know, it can still happen, like...
And there's a lot of countries now that are...
Dude, there is so many
like
different
15,
variations.
right?
Yeah. Is there a Columbian version yet?
Well, there's you know, the Wikipedia Lego Masters page?
Yeah.
Since 2020, they have Lego Masters Colombia expected shooting 2020, then 2021. Now they're saying 2022.
Yeah.
But the only reference you find online, because I've tried,
Yes.
I've looked for it, the only reference is on that page on Wikipedia. So I have no
Wow.
idea.
We all know about Wikipedia.
But if they do it, yeah.
Maybe you could be a judge.
Yeah. Lego Masters Colombia, me llaman.
Get a phone call, be like, hey,
Yeah, sí, me llaman. Yo, tranquilos.
Because it's one of those things too, and there's also only a certain amount of judges around the world they could get, right? Because it's hard, because with the amount of series that they're filming, obviously the US have 2 Lego designers, New Zealand has another LCP, and obviously Australia has our LCP, but I find it interesting that with the US one, they use designers instead of Nathan Sawaya, which is the American LCP.
It's an LCP, Rick.
Lego Certified Professional.
Good job.
A good job. I've got to know that.
Yeah,
'cause,
thank
you
you.
know.
I didn't know.
Didn't you really? That's what that's
Well, the acronym?
yeah,
I know what
that's
I
right.
so it's like a Lego Certified Professional, because that's, you know, they're certified to represent the Lego company. It's like us, right? Like, we're not an official, like, Lego store, but we're an independent toy store that specializes in Lego, but we
represent
the brand, right? Like, and that's how they sort of
Or
do
the
it for all
brand,
those guys, because obviously there's, you know, reasons that we will never know, but they're constantly looking for new LCPs. I don't think we're getting a new one in Australia, but I know around the world they're always looking for people. The UK just got a new one. We actually know him, Kevin. He's quite a nice dude.
I don't know if there are any in South America. Because
Oh, I'll have to have a look.
Brickman is the only one in the southern hemisphere, and that includes, I think, Argentina as well.
For now, I think it will change. I
They'll
think
have to,
because Lego is such a global brand, and they're opening LCP stores in Colombia and stuff. Like, not LCP, LCS stores. They're opening over there. So like sooner or later they're going to have to, because Brickman can only stretch so far. You can't. It's too hard logistically. It's a nightmare to ship them.
Yeah, that's a long plane trip.
No, and in Colombia, for example, it's really popular as well. I mean, some of the people that I actually went and say goodbye when I came to Australia was the guys at the Lego store, the Lego certified store.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I have family in Colombia, and one of my nephews, they go to the Lego store a lot, and whenever they are at the Lego store, they Carlos, which is one of the guys at the store, they're saying hi. And
did they manage to see Lego Masters Australia in Colombia?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So would you like go back and they would like do meet and greets and stuff? That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be
something you haven't thought about, right?
Yeah.
Businessman to me is like, well, go over and get those signatures sorted, and then be like, oh look,
been representing.
Yeah. But the beauty of Lego Masters, for example, is simple things like I have a lot of cousins in Colombia, like 20.
A lot of cousins. It's like the Irish.
Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of cousins, and we have like every other family. We have a WhatsApp group, and it's never been more active than when I was on Lego Masters, because everyone was saying, "Oh, did you see that?" Yeah, we're watching. No, I haven't seen it yet. No spoilers, please.
Oh wow.
So everyone was talking about the teams, talking about the builds. Everyone was cheering. It was really cool.
So you're planning, hopefully, fingers crossed, on having a bit of a reunion, a family reunion later this year, right?
Yeah. Well, hoping, because we were meant to go and visit our families last year, but of course, never happened. And so we're maybe planning to go in later this year, because we haven't seen our families in over 2 years, over 3 years.
Well, it's incredibly hard because the world's been effectively shut, right? And we're trying to get back to some sort of normality, which I'm looking forward to, because it'll be nice to do things again. And
being in different time zones is very difficult as well.
Yeah, big time. Especially with Colombia right now. Well, daylight savings just changed, but it's 15 hours.
That's tricky.
It's tricky.
Wow.
You're awake, they're asleep, vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, or whenever we've never had a chat on FaceTime with the same light in the background.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't,
because
right?
when it's nighttime here, is day there, so it's funny like that, right?
That is true.
It must be like your parents must be incredibly proud that you came to Australia and then bang, won a TV show about Lego.
Yes, they are. They are. It's tricky because my dad he's really old school, that you need to have a good job and you have a good position in the company. When I told him that I was moving to Australia, he didn't really comprehend why I was giving up a good job. But then they came here and they saw what we were doing and how we were living, and he's fine with that now. There is still, they would prefer for me to be back home.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, they want family around, but would like...
And I miss him to pieces, right?
Well, it's hard because you're so separated, especially with the last 2 years. It's been a bit chaotic. Like, did you go from Colombia to America to Australia? Is that how it worked out? Or did you travel elsewhere before you landed here?
Yeah, no. I traveled elsewhere. So I lived in the U.S., but I was 13. So I went to high school, actually.
Oh, okay.
With your parents were there, okay. Yeah.
And my parent went, but it was like 5-6 months, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was when I was 13. So I went back to Colombia. Then with the company that I was working for, I got to live in a few different places. So Switzerland, Brazil, Turkey. So then I came here on a temporary assignment in 2012.
Yeah.
And that's when we fell in love with Australia. And when we went back to Colombia, we said, okay, we really miss Australia. We want to go back. And then we applied for the PR from Colombia, and then we came here in 2015.
How was the process?
Sorry, that is the permanent residence.
Yeah, permanent residence.
See, we don't know any of that stuff, right?
I knew what it was, and then as soon as I said it, I thought, oh, gee, blank. What is it again?
Yeah. So how was the process of getting permanent residency here in Australia?
It was It was good back then. It was simpler. We applied for the skilled based visa.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to have some points, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that I worked here for a year helped a lot as well in the process. So we got the points, we got the permanent residency, we came back, and we became citizens last year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And I actually took another funny anecdote from Lego Masters. I took the citizenship test whilst we were finalizing the shooting of Lego Masters.
Oh, really?
So
That's
I
cool.
had to leave the studio,
Wow.
go to the citizenship offices,
Yeah.
take the test, and go back to the studio.
This was obviously back when Lego Masters was filmed in Melbourne, and now it's filmed in Sydney.
yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Like, Melbourne's
We
better.
need to get past that, Rick. Still upset.
No,
about
I'm
it.
upset because now, like, how are we meant to go to the finale? Like, I don't want to be in a plane and get us anyway.
Mm.
I don't want to have
Yeah, I
to fly
know,
to go to the
I know.
finale. Like,
I know.
and it would have been hard for you guys because you guys around the time you had no one around for the finale, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow. And what
absolutely.
was that like? Was it a weird experience having no one like?
Mm.
It was, somehow, because we've seen, so blessing and a curse is that we've seen to previous seasons,
Yeah.
we've seen to previous finales, so we could see everyone and being able to experience the builds with the audience and having people seeing what you build, that would have been pretty cool. But it is what it is. All the crew, the other contestants,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hamish, everything was really, really nice, and they made sure that we had a good experience whilst shooting in difficult times.
So
Yeah.
with the finale shooting, did they do the whole thing where filming too, and you didn't find out until like the day
so
of?
You mean
I don't know what you're talking about.
when you
Ah.
mean? Hang on,
I don't know what
let's
you're
just
talking
explain to people listening and watching. What do you mean by filming two?
So
Rick?
we can talk about it now because
Of
obviously it's
course.
been a few seasons. So like season 2, when Caroline and I went to finale, they filmed 2 alternate.
So first of all, we didn't realize that we were going to do 2 takes. No one knew. And it was like, right, the winners are this person and this person. Yay, go crazy. And that happened for about 5 minutes of constantly go crazy.
Your arms get sore after 5 minutes
Yay.
clapping. That's all I
Then
can
I
say.
finished, and then straight away we went into these are the winners, and we did the whole thing all over again. So that then when it came to the actual airing,
No one could reveal,
we didn't
right?
know.
No one knew who the winners were going to be. Because, like, we all voted for different people that didn't win, and that's what happens. But, with season 3, was it the same?
The thing is, keep in mind that you want to keep the surprise until the end.
Yeah.
So what they do, without going into details about how they shoot the final, they want to make sure that all the reactions that you get by the time the final
Yeah.
is goes live, then it has to be a surprise.
yes,
So
of course.
all the reactions that you see and the little video that we posted the day we were watching the final, those emotions were real. It was the best thing ever.
How did you feel waiting effectively 3 months to know if you won Lego Masters?
Keep him busy.
Yeah.
Try not to pay attention,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like, wonder if I won. No, keep doing this
But
thing.
it's perfect though. It will never get leaked.
I think that's the best part about it too, because it's really hard when you like. It's different because for you, unfortunately, your season didn't really have people around, right? But with our season, there was like tons of people there. There was like maybe 50, 60 people, Caroline.
Yeah.
Oh,
They-
if
they-
not
I
more,
think it was
a lot.
250.
Yeah,
It was.
a
It
lot.
was.
Oh, wow.
That's a
It was
lot.
Dude, it
200
was
people.
packed.
Yeah, voting, but yeah.
And
But
like,
it was 250 votes. or
surely,
something, wasn't
like it would get like you can't make 250 people be quiet. It's incredibly hard, right? And it was really hard for us because people were like, "Do you go to the finale?" I'm like, "Maybe." Do you know who's going to be in the finale? Can't tell you.
Even on
Because
the-
you don't want to ruin it. You're
Even
just
on
like,
the day of filming, you can't say where you are. It has to be we're at a Lego meeting, which it kind of is a
Kinda
Lego
is.
meeting.
Yeah.
it made
Taking
it
that
hard
count.
though because you like the hardest thing for me watching season 2 was like I knew who was going to the finale, so it kind of wrecks the surprise a little bit because you're like noticing all these people that you liked getting like, sorry you didn't get in, and you're just like, oh, and I kind of feel for all the contestants because like they're reliving all these emotions, especially if you get eliminated first.
Yeah.
Like you're stuck with like a month's worth of television show that you're not on, right? It's very interesting how the process works, and like obviously COVID's made things incredibly hard, especially with like the newer seasons. Everything's been kind of chaotic and trying to fix things, and especially with the Christmas special, like I don't envy them having to try and film during a pandemic because I feel like that's very difficult.
Yeah. Even when we were shooting, right? we had all this. That was during the first lockdown or the first lockdowns
Yeah.
back then. So wear a mask all the time,
Ugh.
and that's a little bit disconnecting as well, because you filming things that you don't see when you're shooting is the whole crew is there in the studio, and you connect with the people in the crew, and you cannot see their faces. So whenever you see them with their mask off, like I run into someone from the crew outside of filming, and I almost didn't recognize them because they had their mask on.
Yeah.
So oh yeah, I know you. Yeah.
Yeah, because and two, I think when you're building in a room and they got like 100 people there watching you do your thing, it's hard to read facial expressions to see if you're doing actually something that's good, right?
Yeah, but that could be a little bit helpful as well, because that way you're not looking at someone and they're making other faces.
Oh, better change this. This is going to be weird.
I must say, I think we are all kind of getting used to facial what the eyes are doing when a certain.
It's going to be incredibly hard for our team because we know how to communicate now through eyes, because you learn. And obviously we've got a few staff, so you learn how. But I don't know how it's going to be when you finally take the mask off. What my expression is going to be
a lot
like.
of head nods and looks to the side, and squinting, eyes open.
You're like, well, look at this thing.
Yeah.
So are you happy with the way you and Gus were portrayed on TV? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they didn't show anything that didn't happen, or again, when you're going into a reality TV show, whatever you say, something that came out of your mouth, but editing anything could happen with editing, right? And I think the way we worked and the way they showed us on TV is the way we are and the way we behave when we were shooting. We, as I said before, the way we worked is we would focus really hard on what we had to do. We would respect each other's opinions. Okay, whenever I needed help, he was there for me. Whenever he needed help, I was there for him. And that helped us a lot. And I think the editing was really good.
Did you guys clash at all during filming?
No, not in terms of personalities or anything like that. You get excited when you're building, and but nothing that
couldn't be worked through, right?
I mean, we're still pretty good friends. We
That's
talk.
great.
That's pretty good.
Pretty much every other day, and he sends me stuff, and I tell him how cool that looks, and
Because he's building a lot of like Back to the Future stuff now, because obviously that's what he likes, right? But it's one of those
Who
things.
doesn't like that?
I love Back to the Future too. Like, the new Lego car's all right. Like, a couple of things I would change, but that's fine. Like,
and he's building the busts of the X-Men series now.
Oh, that's
from
awesome.
The 90s.
Yeah,
that looks so good.
He's doing pretty good, I think too. Obviously he works for the Brickman now, so like he's doing all right. Not everyone can get a job with the Brickman, but he's one of the select few that have been picked and taken over. With the new season coming up, obviously season 4, this will be shown afterwards, so we can like go into a bit of detail then. Are you excited that there's a new season?
Yeah, absolutely. Even I tried to hunt down seasons from other countries, and I tried to even put closed caption and not even understanding the language, right? Because I started as a big fan of Lego Masters, and I still think that, again, it has been mentioned a few times in the podcast, but the Australian version for me is still the best.
It's really hard for us, right? And this is what I try to explain to people, is that season 1, we have a special connection with season 1, and it's aware, like people are aware of that.
The first one.
Exploded for us, and any business that was involved in Lego marketing, whatever you did with Lego back then, it made us all incredibly busy, and we're all incredibly grateful for a show that is the ultimate advertising platform without being advertising, because that's effectively what it is, right? Without season 1 exploding the way it is, we wouldn't have multiple seasons. We wouldn't meet a lot of you guys, because we might cross paths but not really interact, because that's what happens with life, right? But I think too, Australia manages to try and keep stepping it up. I think it's getting harder for them, because now there is so many seasons and so many episodes all around the world. To try and make different challenges is incredibly difficult. And I'm looking forward to see, because obviously with the adverts and stuff, they go outside, which is different. That's amazing. Like,
that looks so cool, right? And even from because at this stage, the only thing that we've seen is the ads. And when you see the little chicken, the rubber chicken, just
through the fire.
Hook, that is funny. That is hilarious. So
I think it's good that they're managing to change it up, because I think being on the team behind Lego Masters, the producing managers and all that sort of stuff, it makes it hard trying to make it difficult and different without getting it boring and without losing viewership.
Predictable. You don't want it predictable.
Because I don't want my concern for Lego Masters is it being like MasterChef, and then like it reaching a point where it's not as popular, because then people start being like, "Oh, I've seen it before," and I think we're getting to the point where they're managing to keep it like fresh.
Yeah, but I think with Lego, there's always going to be something when you're seeing something beautiful being built on the screen, right? Yes, it might need, and from a business point of view, making it commercially viable and all those things, but I don't think I'm ever gonna get tired of watching. And for season 1, for example, I saw the ads. I saw the ads for Lego Master season 1 and Apply Now. And to be honest, I thought it was just a they're gonna do a documentary. It was gonna be going
it was really weird for us
see
too.
people's collections and stuff like that. And then I saw season 1 and I said, "Oh, I gotta get in there."
I'm kicking myself because they approached me and they're like, "We're filming a show about Lego," and I was like, "What are you gonna do about Lego?" You know how you just like, come. Back then Lego wasn't as big, right? So you're just like, "We can do about Lego." You know, pick on us. Like that's my thing. Like they're gonna make fun of adult fans of Lego. You know? And
that
it's
is
just
the thing
like,
people don't understand that back then it wasn't. I mean, I've been collecting Lego for over 20 years now, but it wasn't Lego Masters that you know today and people relate to. And
also too, back then it wasn't socially acceptable for a grown man to be walking in a toy store or like, you know, a big chain and like filling minifig packets. They'd be like, "What are you doing, stealing?" You're like, "No, I'm just trying to find Mr. Gold."
Acceptable?
Just trying to find Mr. Gold. You're like trying to find him.
I never cared.
And it's
There's
like
plenty of people that take their children with them
and pretend.
It's like as a cover.
It still happens now. He's like, "Oh, I'm buying
Lego
from him." I'm like,
today,
"It's for you, right?"
me.
He's like, "Oh no." I'm like,
I don't know. I haven't seen Lego Discovery Center inside.
"Really?"
Yeah, because I have no kids.
Oh, because we went the first time for the season 1 finale. That's where we met like Miller and Jordan and stuff. We were invited. The marketing manager at the time, who's moved on, she's like, "Hey, do you guys want to come?" I'm like, "Okay." Like,
No kids required.
and I was like, "Oh, even better." And then I went inside. I was like, "Oh, you know, it's for kids, obviously." Like,
Yeah.
but to me, it's just, you know, we'll be forever grateful for people like you and Lego Masters and the team, obviously Endemol and Channel 9. There's a massive crew that goes involved in the show. And people don't understand. There's like hundreds of people that get involved in the show.
And they're awesome. They're amazing. I remember the day we were shooting the final, right? It was the 3 teams. So it was Gabby, Ryan, Scotty Owen, Gus, and myself. And we arrived at the studio the last day, and the crew was there waiting for us, cheering up, and we got a little video of it and everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, especially because we were shooting during COVID, so it was really a close group of people.
Yeah.
So you feel like that becomes your family for that period of time, right? So it was really nice.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, David. It's been a great chat. We're looking forward to season 4. Obviously, you are. Yeah. You know, thanks for coming in. Congratulations again on winning.
Thank you.
I know we touched base to you afterwards and we caught up and, you know, had a nice chat when we could, you know, obviously COVID stuff. But thank you again for joining us. We'll put down David's Instagram. He does have a business where he makes like Lego bottles. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Bottles.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I'll get Dan to take a video of our one later.
Miniatures inside bottles. Yeah. So you get the tweezers and you put it in, and
it's like a ship in a bottle, but with Lego. It's amazing.
Yes,
it's really, really cool. But I'll link his Instagram and everything else, his website and all that sort of stuff. So keep an eye on David's work because he's doing great things.
Thank you. Thank you very much for.
You're
Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime, man. We appreciate it.